everyone, this is Casey, the English education student. I I feel like the Mendelian genetics was my favorite module because of the rarity of certain traits being passed down, and yet the continued existence of recessive traits like blue eyes. I love seeing the symphony of divine transparency of original design being passed down through what feels as random as a composer closing his eyes and just writing a new piece of symphonic art, and an auditory painting, if you will, and yet fulfilling his destiny to create the music that was always with him in which to express in this life. And I feel like genetics feels like that, like the painting of the divine echoing out through love and occurrence onto the generations of human existence throughout time and space, echoing the beauty of creation in every freckle, every curl, and every face. I thought that the Punnett squares were really cool because it was like, oh my gosh, there's like literally a way to take common characteristics within a family and and literally put it into an equation to determine the likelihood of that being passed on in their offspring. Like what? Like I felt like a scientist. I'm like, this is really cool stuff, you know? One thing I learned that surprised me was that, wow, how many blue-eyed relatives I had to have turned out with blue eyes. That was kind of wild. What I liked about this course was the remote nature of it and how accessible everything was. I enjoyed learning from a private study room at my local campus and just being transported on Labster to the lab. Sometimes I said out loud, I'm teleporting, this is awesome. It was really cool to be able to work with microscopes and expensive lab equipment that, I mean, some of that equipment we may not have even had access to through the funding of our local collegiate institution. And yet we got to learn how to use so many different machines and what they do. It was really fun. Sometimes I would work with a tutor and she would like explain like, oh, this is in the actual lab. This is like, and she would kind of talk about the details of what I would experience with the hands-on usage of these different types of equipment. And it just really brought it to life for me. And I love that I could do it right here from this exact study room. So that was amazing. And in terms of what I would design or do differently in this course, I mean, for me personally, like if I were teaching this course, I might make consistent due dates rather than like what felt like spontaneous ones, even though it was all outlined in the syllabus. But just like, like have the same, an exam every Tuesday and Friday, or an exam every Tuesday and every other Friday, or something like that. But, just to ensure student success. But that being said, however, this course was designed with the curriculum built into the dynamics of a 6-week summer course. And all the content was fit in within that time frame in a way where the workload was still manageable within the conditions of what's basically like a fast track course. So it was just really important to log in often and check for assignments and upcoming deadlines. But overall, I really enjoyed this course, and there's really not that much I would have done differently. It's just if I had to really think of something, that's kind of what I came up with, was that. Because sometimes I would log in and realize, oh my gosh, there was a deadline tomorrow. And in the beginning, it would be like every Tuesday for a couple weeks. But other than that, it was just, and really, it was a good habit to just log in often and check for updates and deadlines. And I think that that's just the mark of every successful student. So anything that helps create better study habits, I think is beneficial for the students to ensure success. So I thank you so much, Professor Danielson, and I thank all my classmates and peers for just being so awesome. And I hope everyone has just the most amazing success on to the next chapter of their collegiate experience. Thank you so much. Light and love.